So Abdul, let's turn to you, Abdul. So you live in Chelmsford, don't you? And you're just finishing your degree at university. So you're 21, are you?
Yeah, 21. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me how the past year and a half or so has been for you.
Obviously very, very different. Sort of, we started off a little bit, when it first kicked in, COVID first kicked in March last year. And, I remember when it was like, first case in London, and everyone sort of was like, it's not too bad, blah, blah, blah. And then they just started increasing and whatnot. And then our professor was like, okay, look, if you're uncomfortable, don't come in, this and that. And we were like, it's all right, it's not that deep. And then came in, and then obviously had the announcement where everyone's like, the big one where it was like, schools are shut, everything's shut. And that's when you sort of realize, like, okay, this is like serious. And then from there, obviously they had to change all the teaching to online, recording online lectures and whatnot. And I feel like, no matter how much you record the subject or whatever you're studying and the syllabus, it's just like, it's not the same. It's like, you're pausing the recording, even if the lecturer is sat there, online and whatnot, it's like, when I'm sat here in my room, it's like, you don't really have that concentration. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's been weird, a bit weird, but I feel like they handled it all right. Some of it could have been a bit better, but yeah, it is what it is, and you sort of just have to adapt, and it's a bit different. I feel more for people who are sort of in their first year. So like my brother went to uni in his first year this year, and it's like, you don't get to go to any events, you don't get to go out, and it's like no one come into your flat, and you're living away. So like you're just on your own in the room, and then paying rent for no reason. You know what I mean? All these things. But yeah, it's been a bit of a mix.
So because you're coming to the end of, you're in your final year and you're coming to the end. Have you had your exams now? Have you?
Yeah, so all my exams are done. I'm a lucky one because my degree is 4 years. So technically, I got another year. So quite a few of my mates are graduating this year, and they're sort of like having that online graduation, or they won't really have that graduation ceremony or something. So they're like, in a way, you're a bit lucky because then you got it next year, and hopefully by then it's all back to normal.
Have a proper graduation, fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand that you've got a gathering between your mates coming up soon for the end of the year. Tell me, what are you? And I understand that you're planning on testing yourself. Are you, before you do that? You test yourself regularly anyway, don't you?
Yeah. So obviously the thing with me on my conscious kind of thing is like, both my parents are doctors, and if they're going into hospital dealing with COVID, more my dad than my mum, like dealing with COVID patients and whatnot. And, I just go out there and I'm like meeting people or whatnot, or like not really testing, and I'm carrying it around. It's sort of like, I just think they're doing all of this to make sure people are all right. It'd be bad for me to just go out there and be, not really be mindful of it. So, because they bring home like their little kit things, like you said, and they have a few spare or whatnot. And I just think if I'm meeting, like last week, I went and met a few of them outside in London. I was still just like, even if you've got no symptoms or whatnot, it's just like, it's better to know that you're not sort of passing it on to anyone or like risking anyone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It probably makes you
I'll
feel
try
better.
that. Yeah, and then the thing with the end of exams gathering kind of thing, I think we've got about 20 people outside once the restrictions ease up. And yeah, I think one of the lads who's organising it, he said, look, I'll be lying if, I thought all of you guys are going to self-test and rock up. But he was like, look, if you do have the kits or whatever at hand, just do it. It's just a peace of mind, and you can just enjoy yourself. Then, you don't have to be too like, oh no, keep my distance and this and that and whatnot, or, scared of passing it on to anyone.
Do you think because you test yourself that some of your mates are thinking, okay, well, actually, if he does it, then maybe I should too?
Yeah, of course. I'd hope so. It's sort of like, obviously, there's two sides of it. Some people are very careful and sort of, I don't want to say paranoid, because it is, it's very serious, but it's like, a bit paranoid. And then on the other side, there's people that are like, I don't care, like, you know, it's getting better now, everything's easing up, travel, blah blah. So, you know, no COVID deaths, thankfully, after a very long time. So they're like, why do you have to test when? And the thing that they say is that I've already had it, everyone's already had it. You're sort of immune to it a little bit already or whatnot, or I've had the first vaccine. But, you know, even getting to London, you know, I'll get on the tube or whatnot, I'll be holding on the tube.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't know who you're going to be passing on to. So yeah, I feel like if they see me do it, maybe one or two of them or a few of them that don't test will be like, oh, okay, look, if he's doing it, then it doesn't, like, what do we have to lose to test? You know what I mean?
I suppose for you, if your dad has been working with COVID patients, then
Yeah.
you've probably heard all kinds of stories, and you know
Oh yeah.
you know what's going on at the front line probably better than, you know, lots of people.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like I feel like, especially at the beginning, you know, people didn't really. I mean, myself, I had like 4 holidays and like festivals and stuff booked for the last summer. And I was like, oh, it'll probably be a few weeks and then, you know, it'll be all right, kind of thing. Like, even when you do realize, but you literally the first day it started happening, my dad was like, look, this is the way it's spreading. It's not going to be a 3-4 week thing. He was like, it'll probably take till like start of 2021. And we were like, I'll come off it, kind of thing. I mean, it's like, there's no need to like be that careful, whatever. But yeah, you know, you realize it once, I guess, when you're working there and that kind of stuff, and you're in the environment day in, day out.